Pancakes. I don't want to hear that word again for a long, long time.
If you're a fan of the Persona series, then no doubt you've heard about or know of Goro Akechi. Persona 5's Detective Prince, he serves as his mirror reflection to our main protagonist Joker. Two sides of the same coin, he's a what if for the protagonist if the protagonist didn't grow bonds or had friends to lean on, and so went on this darker path in life when discovering the powers of the persona. He was your rival, he was your adversary, but he was also your friend. But he was far too gone the path he took, and his pride would ultimately get him. However, in his last moments, he realized how wrong he was and sacrificed himself to save our protagonist, realizing that this was the only thing he could do that could be right by their side.
You bastard! So, my final enemy is a puppet version of myself.
He's a very complicated character, but very well written. And this isn't a video explaining Akechi's arc as a whole, but more of an appreciation of his arc in the game's final semester, answering a question many fans had when this game released in 2020 when Akechi had died for about a long while. What if this character had a second chance? To begin, let's get to the beginning of the final semester and what was a familiar scene for returning players playing Royal for the first time. At the final arc of the game, Joker always was supposed to turn himself in to make the ultimate sacrifice for his friend's safety and to conclude his justice. But instead, Akechi comes in and takes his place.
There's no need for that. If they get their hands on the perpetrator, there'll be no need for him to turn himself in, no? That appears to be the case.
Akechi, with this new chance at life, turns himself in Joker's place, not only to atone for his crimes, but also to finally have the opportunity to take down his father and overall bad person, Masayoshi Shido. A fairy tale ending for returning players, almost too good to be true. Regardless of not knowing how he came back, Joker appreciates Akechi taking accountability for his actions and standing up, and in a new set of events, he's able to celebrate Christmas and New Year's with his friends, rather than spending those days testifying against Shido. But in this fairy tale, something a lot more sinister is cooking behind the scenes. Joker wakes up one day and realizes everything is wrong. He's still in Tokyo and he's still with his friends, but he recognizes that nothing about what they're doing is right or makes sense. His friends are living their lives blissfully ignorant in this world, and for some, returning to the things that hurt them, as if the development they went through throughout the game never happened. Everything has just reached this super uncanny valley vibe, where nothing seems to be right, but it seems to be forcing itself to make it seem right. And the dead are walking again. People who lost their lives throughout the game's story returning with no explanation why. It almost bewilders the player because they have no idea what's going on, and no one seems to listen to him. No one but Akechi, who seems to still have his mind intact, but just can't believe it either.
Hey, come on, guys.
Sorry.
I guess I'll start the coffee.
You know, don't you? We have to discuss this. That's what I need to discuss with you. Well then, let's try to sort through this situation. That seems as good a place to begin as any. At the end of last year, I turned myself into the police as the perpetrator of the serial psychotic breakdown incidents. Your memory of this is still intact, correct? Ah, yes. So, my final enemy is a puppet version of myself. We have greater concerns right now. In fact, I'm a bit offended you think so little of me that you expected me to be dead. Perhaps the most confusing part of my story comes post-detainment. Obviously, I was thoroughly interrogated about my involvement in Shido's case, but for some reason, after questioning, I was suddenly released. No explanation whatsoever. Yes, I was acquitted of all charges. It's absolutely preposterous. More than that, it should be impossible for them to release a confessing suspect after only a brief interrogation. But what's even more unbelievable to me is... That's right. Wakaba Ishiki. I can't believe she's been brought back to life.
Together, they both strike a deal to investigate this reality together, and this leads them to Kasumi and the palace's ruler, Takuto Maruki, a friend that Joker was helping research cognitive science. Little side note, these are some of the best written characters in the game. Oh my god, Maruki, Kasumi, and Akechi are so great, but I can't kind of accurately tell everyone because that video is going to be like 30 hours, so I'm going to put more of a focus on Akechi and kind of just skim through Kasumi and Maruki's. Sorry. It's here that Maruki reveals that using the powers of his research that Joker helped him complete, he has been able to alter reality itself and give people his vision of a perfect reality, where people are able to run away from their problems and be in a different world of their own than face the world they are in. Akechi, knowing a thing or two about deception and feeding lies, is against the idea, but Maruki argues that everyone around them is so happy in their make-believe reality, and it's showing nothing to him but positive results. And Kasumi is living proof of this. As it turns out, she is Sumire Yoshizawa, and has been cognitively altered all this time to believe she was her dead sister, the real Kasumi, because she couldn't handle the grief of losing her sister in a traffic accident. Maruki argues that doing this would help Kasumi, and allowing others to be blind to their past traumas can help people as well. But Akechi and the players see through the flaws in his logic and come to the conclusion that this reality isn't right, no matter how Maruki tries to sugarcoat it.
That's quite the funny joke. It makes me want to puke. Remaining in this Maruki revised reality means living under his thumb forever. And I refuse to live like that. I'll be the one to choose my path. That's how I've lived up to now, and it's going to continue from here till the end. But what about you? You saw them for yourself, didn't you? Your friends seem to have taken a liking to Maruki's version of reality. Don't tell me you've changed your mind after seeing them. I see. I pray your answer doesn't change when we face Maruki tomorrow.
Even if it means hurting others with the truth, they mainly vow to accept hard times and look to the future no matter how hard. And eventually, the others see the vision and come to their senses too, including the real Sumire. And with the Phantom Thieves reunited, they vow to stop Maruki from further altering reality, and for them to return to their real world. It's here in gameplay that we get to see the real Goro Akechi, and not the detective prince gimmick he hid under. Instead of being calm, calculated, and an overall smug person, the real Goro Akechi is a much more rebellious person than Joker could have ever even thought of, with him being more stubborn, reckless, and overall chaotic.
My skills exceed yours. I break them.
And his main persona changes to be the one that he sees more fit than the heroic Robin Hood he used in Nijima's palace, the god of chaos, Loki.
Robin Hood! To me, Loki!
For a brief moment, he even navigates in the game, and in return, we get some really fun moments with his personality.
You're all my enemies! No, I am not brainwashed! I don't want to do this scary shit anymore!
It gives us a lot more to grow and attach to Akechi than what the original Persona 5 had to offer, and that's something I honestly very liked. As we further go through the palace and learn more of Maruki and his motives, there's something that bothers Akechi in the background. Something trivial because he was around before Maruki warped reality, but it was something he couldn't get out of his head. If Wakaba and Okumura, two people he killed, were alive and well, but nothing more than fakes, then what is he? Notice how he avoids talking about the circumstances around his return and how he even made it to Shibuya to turn himself in to begin with?
yes. So, my final enemy is a puppet version of myself. We have greater concerns right now. In fact, I'm a bit offended you think so little of me that you expected me to be dead.
Akechi is in denial about the possibility he could be actually dead. He masks it with pure certainness that he believes he's back there in their world too, but truly afraid that if the worst case scenario they do face reality, he fears his reality is back to being a corpse in Shido's collapsed palace. But it's not something he openly talks about until the end of the palace, when Maruki delivers the truth as they send him his calling card.
What do these two have to do with...
The relationship you two share is very unusual. A detective and a phantom thief. Despite being enemies, your relationship isn't based on hatred or ill will. That's why I found it so tragic when I learned what happened in Shido's palace.
You bastard! So, my final enemy is a puppet version of myself.
Say, didn't you regret how things ended with him? You two came to a deep understanding of one another. Yet you had no choice but to leave Akechi-kun to his fate. That's why I created a reality where you two could have a fresh start together.
After all this, that's what you have to say. Seriously, you really are.
That would mean the Akechi in the real world is...
Get what I'm saying? I genuinely didn't want to tell you like this. I didn't want to make it seem like I'm holding him hostage. But no matter what you may think of me, I just want you all to accept this reality and move on with your happy lives.
And that matters how, exactly? Don't tell me you think dangling my life before us is going to have any impact on our decision. Well, I lacked conclusive evidence, but after I fought against you all, I had a gap in my memory that ended with meeting up with him again. There were also the cases of Wakaba Ishiki and President Okumura. Of course, I'd find all of that suspicious.
I see. I had a feeling the truth of the matter still wouldn't dissuade you, Akechi-kun. But how about you? You think dangling my life before us is going to affect our decision? That's what Akechi-kun said a moment ago. If that's how you see it at this point, I'm fine with it. But I'm still going to ask you, one last time, will you accept the reality I create for you? You were the guiding light to my research. You showed me the way so I could make my dream into reality. I have nothing but gratitude for you. Not a single ounce of ill will. That's why I wanted you, of all people, to understand. Perhaps I shouldn't ask you for an answer on the spot like that. I'll be going now. Ah, that's right. I've heard you're calling.
The real Goro Akechi has been dead all this time. Who this Goro Akechi is, we don't know, or if it even is the same Akechi. But regardless, when facing the truth, Akechi decides to not back down. He'd rather die fighting than live submitting.
I will carve my own path for myself. I refuse to accept a reality concocted by someone else, stuck under their control for the rest of my days. Why wouldn't I be? Don't ask such stupid questions after all this time. All you have to do is stick to your guns and challenge Maruki. Or are you really so spineless that you'd fold over some bullshit trivial threat on my life? Then you already know what needs to be done. I want to hear you say it aloud. What do you intend to do? I won't wait a moment longer. Answer me. All right. I'm relieved to hear it. I will never accept this form of reality. I'm done being manipulated. Let's go back to our true reality.
And so, the Phantom Thieves defeated Takuto Maruki, turning to their original reality. And Goro Akechi would disappear, sacrificing himself for the greater good.
No, I can't believe Akechi-san's really...
What the hell? So he was fighting that hard, knowing he was gonna disappear the whole time.
Persona 5 Royal brought a lot of great things that the base Persona 5 never had, and the development for Akechi made it all the more better. In the base Persona, I actually honestly never cared about Goro Akechi, but the fact that in the third semester, with the second chance at life, he's willing to really stick his head out for the protagonist, just made him so much more of a bro than we ever gave him credit for in the original, and he easily earned his fan favorite spot. To people who've reached the end, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate all the love and support I can get. If you like this video, you can like, subscribe, share, comment, all that good stuff. And honestly, in the comments, just tell me what you think. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, any suggestions or criticisms, I'm open to basically anything. Or if you just want to comment that you think Naoto is the better Detective Prince, that's fine by me. Thank you guys for watching, and this is Two Phone Typhoon out.